Hello everyone, it's Jordan. I know I said I wasn't going to make a video again after the Meet the Author video, but I thought that since we have kind of a new setup with lighting and microphone and all that stuff, I figured I'd give it a go and see if it's as anxiety and OCD inducing as it was to film on a cell phone. So far so good, it hasn't been that bad. Still pretty bad. I think I just have to work on being a perfectionist, which I think is my downfall when it comes to these things. But it hasn't been as bad, so I'm going to continue on trying to film this. I wanted to talk about what it's like to be a male author in a female body. I know there are other systems that have opposite gender alters to the biological body, and I know that some do feel similarly to what I feel. Obviously, not all two alters feel the same, just like not all two people feel the same. Just because we share an experience of being an alter does not mean that we all share experiences of what we feel when we're fronting or when we're in a world or anything in general. So I can't really speak for anybody else. I can speak for myself though, and if anybody else does feel the same way I do, hopefully this can help you. Being a male author in a female body is a lot harder than I think some people think it is, because they don't put into effect that we are, actual people and we have actual feelings, and when you are the opposite gender to what the body is, there is feelings that suck, quite frankly. So for Jake and myself, we have an extreme amount of gender dysphoria when we're in the body. I know for Jake it's a lot worse than mine is, because I think since I'm forward and front so often, I've kind of put it in my mind that this is just something I'm going to feel, and I have to just continue on doing what we need to do. Seeing as my role usually is to make sure that day-to-day things are taken care of and that we're functioning normally. That happens quite often. So I don't think mine is as bad as his, but there is still gender dysphoria, and it is a very strong feeling of not belonging in your body and the things on your body not belonging there. It just kind of feels like you're out of place. Sometimes it feels like your skin is crawling. Sometimes it just feels like you just don't want to be there. And a lot of the time I will try not to front because I don't like feeling that. It also kind of brings up a level of dissociation. When I start feeling these negative feelings, I will start to dissociate a little bit, and just the two of them together, it makes things a lot harder, especially when you're trying to just kind of function throughout the day. And that's kind of what I do on a daily basis. I just try to make us function. So going through those is difficult. I do talk to our therapist about it, and a level of therapy does help, but I think there isn't much one can do about being a completely opposite gender in a body that's not yours. For ourselves anyway. I'm sure there's lots of things that other people can do, and Dissociated has a wonderful video talking about dysphoria and what people can do for the opposite gender alters to make them feel a little bit more comfortable, things that we actually have taken, but I'll talk about that soon. So that's kind of what it feels like. For Jake, he feels it a lot more strongly because I'm not sure what it is actually, because I'm not him, so I can only tell what I've heard him say or what he's kind of explained. But because he has such a high level of dysphoria, he also has a high level of dysmorphia, seeing as he sees himself as a lot taller, a lot bigger. He's a broad young man, and he's a werewolf. It's just, there's a lot of factors that go in for him. So for him it's a lot harder to be front, and he won't front if he can help it. He will try to stay as far back actually as possible, unless he's pushed forward. And of course, there's always going to be situations where an alter is pushed forward for whatever reason, and there's no really helping that, and that sucks. But yes, because of those feelings for him, he doesn't really come forward at all. I'd be extremely surprised if he actually ever even made a video, even though I'm sure he would like to, but it's just very difficult for him to be in the body at all. I think male alters are created for the same reason that any alter is created. It's just what your system and you thought you needed in order to get through whatever you've gone through. So for ourselves, or for myself in particular, with the therapist's help, we've kind of come to the conclusion that the system, or Rivka, thought that she needed a fatherly male figure to protect her from what she was going through, someone to help her get through the days and make everything all right. And that's kind of what my role in the system is for our teen alters and our littles. I'm kind of this father figure for them, and I kind of just am the caretaker of the rest of the system and make sure everything is going okay, making sure everyone is all right. And that's kind of why I guess I was created to begin with, or why I came about. Every alter has a different reason for coming about, but there's always a reason for them being there. And so I don't think that in particular male alters are any different from, regular, same gender alters, from fictives, from factives, from animal alters. There can be any kind of alter, and they are all made for a reason. Usually when I am in the body, I don't really do anything, because when I do come out, a lot of the time we're already in public. So because we're already in public, it's not like I can just go to the closest bathroom and, pull out some clothes and make myself look like a gent, and then come out and everyone's just going to be looking at us like we're completely, utterly mad. That would just be unrealistic on every level. So I don't really do anything. When I am at home, a lot of the time I will put a sports bra on, perhaps I'll bind every now and then. I guess it really depends on the level of dysphoria I'm feeling that day. Sometimes I'll wear some button-up shirts. I like to put my hair up. I like to have it in a beanie. I always wear my glasses. That's kind of like my trademark almost. Not for fashion though, it's just I honestly need to see. And that's just kind of the things that I do. We do have some masculine articles of clothing. We also have some gender neutral articles of clothing, so those things perhaps I'll wear, or if Rivka knows I'm a little closer to the front, she'll wear them to make me feel a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, that's really all we do. We were suggested a couple of things to make us feel a little bit better, but I don't really think I want to do them, just because I feel I've come to an understanding that dysphoria and this uncomfortable feeling I feel in the body, and just being, different, is something that I'm going to experience when I am in the body, and it's something I expect to experience while in the body. I don't think that, doing too much would help, honestly, for myself, just because I feel that if I were to put a lot of effort into it, it might make my dysphoria worse. I think I would become very painfully aware that, I had, whatever it is on, and I'd be painfully aware that it's not real. And I think that would just make things for myself just a lot worse. So I don't really do much other than, in times that I can, dress the way I want to dress. But besides that, a lot of therapy and talking about it, and just kind of trying to have the understanding that when I'm in the body, this is just something I might feel. That's kind of helped me as myself. If someone out there does want to, do a little bit more to make their male alters feel better, go for it. I'm sure it would help. I think a lot of the things that we were suggested would help for Jake tremendously. I think it would make him feel a lot more comfortable. So like, if that's something you want to do, by all means go and do it. I don't think that, you know, anyone should be uncomfortable. And the only tricks I can give, honestly, is just beanie. Like I said earlier, Dissociated, they're an amazing system in the UK. They gave a lot of tips on what you can do to make your male alters feel a little bit better. You know, makeup tips, there's things you can do with your hair, wearing beanies if you want to get some masculine clothing for them. You know, there's tutorials on YouTube for anything. If you wanted to, you know, do a little bit of like makeup to make your face look a little bit more masculine, there are tutorials for that as well. And yeah, there's just, you know, if these are things that you need to do in order to feel better, that's fine, because how you feel is completely valid. But that's just kind of what my perspective is, being a male alter. It's not easy, but you know, with my role in my system, and I care very much about my system, I kind of put up with it almost. I don't like complaining, because I feel like because I'm taking care of everybody else, I don't have time to complain. Not that I can't, but just I don't have time to. So this is actually one of the first times I've actually talked about kind of what I feel on a daily basis, especially since I'm to the front a lot and I front a lot. And I think the only person who's ever really heard me talk about, you know, my dysphoria is our therapist. So yeah, thanks for listening, I suppose, and I hope this helps someone. So I hope you guys found this video informative, I suppose. I hope it helps whoever is out there that's feeling the same way feel validated. You know, if you need tips and tricks on how to, you know, feel a little bit more masculine, you could take what I've said, which is, you know, makeup or eyeliner. There is, you can bind, you can wear a sports bra if that makes you feel more comfortable. Sometimes we don't do both. You know, there's a lot of more things. You can go to Dissociated. The channel is amazing. I can put the link in the description. And just, you know, whatever makes you comfortable, honestly. And I hope you like this. If you found it informative and you want to check out any other videos, go ahead. Rivka has a lot of other videos and a lot more coming. She's presently working on a video that is absolutely her baby project. She won't let anybody touch it but herself. No one's allowed to edit it, only her. So let's hope it comes out good. And you guys appreciate it as well, because she works very hard on it. And yeah, go ahead, look at her channel. Hopefully in the future I'll do some more videos for you guys. So I hope all of you have a decent night or a decent day, and a productive day or night, whichever it is for you. And thank you for watching.